Hello, friends. Day 56. Bar is closed. So I'm feeling a little jazzed today. You can tell probably by my voice already, but I'm kind of laughing at this whole concept of the show as I'm kind of looking back in review again, not listening to it, but feeling it and seeing what has surfaced for me personally. And it's like, I feel like I've had all these like completely no-brainer eureka moments, right? You know, like, wow, aha moment. And they're like the aha moment that I imagine, you know, everybody should have had 20 something years ago or whatever, or have already had, or have already read. Like, you know, again, back to there's no new chords in the musical scales. There's no real original songs. There's no supposed truly original thoughts anymore, you know, in the collective consciousness. But I guess this was the exercise. I mean, I spiritually felt inclined to do this, and I needed to, and because of that spiritual calling for myself personally. My soul purpose in this, but and what I am laughing and kind of or at least chuckling at now is the eureka moments are such no-brainers. They're such no-brainers, and so I can't help but wonder, you know, how much of this have I already discovered and forgotten purposefully? How much of this have I already discovered, you know, in my life and forgotten unconsciously? How much of it did I really not know? "Quote unquote" know, because I didn't ingest it and embrace it and let it integrate and then build it into my design, you know, because it seems like such a no-brainer. And I'm the biggest example I'm using right now is the duality that I'm experiencing here with my own lack of discipline around alcohol or dependencies on it for different emotional or unemotional ranges that I want to control in certain ways and all the things we've talked about. There's another duality, obviously, that's going on. And I just discovered this from kind of doing my first yoga class, at least my first one in like 15 years. And I have been surrounded by yoga my whole life, but, you know, have not partaken. And so I finally get back into this yoga flow. And it's, you know, mind, body, and heart, right? I call it mind, body, soul, but that's just too cliche, I think. And I think, you know, spirit, soul, not everybody believes in or prescribes to or triggers them. So I'm just going to say mind, body, heart. That's where a lot of this duality comes from when we do acts of violence on ourselves, right? When I take action that is violent on myself, when I decide to smoke a cigarette when I know it doesn't feel good, or just because I desire it, my head is in charge. My head is in control. And my body is bummed out that it's just basically being used as a tractor, some kind of utility that my mind is driving around to get its way. And so therefore that ego, you know, likes to do mean things to the body and the heart in order to make sure that the body and heart are in check and that the mind is in control. And so when we, you know, create good habits for ourselves, like so many others do, by the way, so you're probably not listening to the show if you're one of them. But, you know, when you hit the gym, when you're doing martial arts, when you're, you know, when I was in swim team, or, you know, you're swimming and healthy, you know, yoga. Do you really want to go down some beers and some booze after a good yoga class? Do you really want to, you know, after a good run, you know? I mean, and sometimes the answer is absolutely yes, you do. It's like, oh my God, I'm feeling good. My body's getting aligned with my mind. My mind is giving up some authority here. You know, I want to go trash it up a little bit. It feels too good. And so that's where I'm really tapping into now. And I'm sure there's all kinds of biological reasons for all this and scientific reasons for all this and intellectual, philosophical that I will hopefully get more informed on as I move through this journey. But at the moment, just me finding myself with me, I am happy to be reminded and remember that the duality isn't just with my head, inside of my head, and these multiple personalities or these multiple ego battles that are occurring and so on. It is truly a mind and body first, and then in that mind and body, when they become united finally, when they're in harmony with each other, when the mind isn't in more control in the body and the body isn't in more control of the mind, that heart, that place in your chest, that instinct, that the place where all those emotions evoke from, that, you know, that source of truth and love, your heart is now that proton, neutron, electron, that XYZ, that third part of who we are and how we're supposed to be navigating in life. And so some people can navigate all up in their head and they work out. And so they get out of their head a little bit and get that workout, but they're not dipping into their heart, right? Some people can be all head and heart and sitting around eating mushrooms and, all in a heart space and in their head, but they're also not working out and physically moving their body and doing the stuff that's needed there. So I think day 56 really comes, full circle and maybe a new horizon line for me of, I guess my motive and my agenda now is to try every day to keep in harmony with my head, my heart, and my body. Bars closed. Day 56.
Liquor